Maybe. Well, hello everybody. Heavy Metal Dracula here. Today is different than my usual different. So I've been sitting in my room. Well, by the way, I'm sorry I haven't uploaded for 2 days. Well, because I was very busy, and I mean, like for the past week, I was like so busy that I'd be like, oh my god, I want to upload a freaking video, but apparently. So I want to upload a video. It's for the new people who's like new to the thrash community, who like be like, oh my god, I want to listen to some thrash. Which music should I buy? If you don't worry, if you follow my steps, you'll go from a freaking poser to here to the thrash community, to the thrash metal. So I'm listening. I almost listened to it barely. Like, yeah. So, without further ado, let's get to right into construction. Now, to be a thrash person, you gotta like listen to like old school thrash and newer thrash. Well, get to the old school thrash first. Which brings me to this shirt and this shirt too, Slayer and also Metallica. They're one of the big four thrash bands that were on this list. If you know who Metallica and Slayer is, well, let me go with Metallica first. Metallica is one of the big four thrash bands. Started off in 1981. Like, here, the only albums I know is, of course, Kill 'Em All is down there, and Ride the Lightning down here too. Like, oh my god, what Metallica album should I listen to first? Well, there's this album that people will be like, what Metallica album? Is of course Metallica Kill 'Em All. It's the first album by Metallica. It is of course released in '83, I believe, and this has the band in it. If you don't know who Cliff Burton was, he was the bassist. If you can see, that's him right there. You can see it. This is had when he had in it, like for Metallica for this, and of course Ride the Lightning. So if you don't know what Ride the Lightning is, actually this is the first album, and Ride the Lightning is of course the second album by Metallica. Well, switch cameras. This is see. Hold on, let's move. This is of course this album, Metallica, Ride the Lightning. My least favorite off this album is this, for warm the bell tones. At least it's in this album, Master of Puppets, who's been like having a birthday recently, which is on March 3rd. I forgot what year this album was made, but these two are great albums. Let's get to the metal tracks. See, these are not thrash. Well, I have like heavy metal. There's one of Anthrax's tracks right there. So that's one of the big four thrash bands. Of course, Bullet for My Valentine. They're thrash, like thrash metal. Cannibal Corpse. Like Five Finger Death Punch. Thrash metal. What else? Industrial. I already showed you Metallica. Pantera, obviously. Pantera. Slayer right here. Besides, these are my favorite tracks off Slayer. My album is Pride. My favorite album is of course South of Heaven and Pride and Prejudice. I mean, Repentless and Dumb. Of course, let's see. Yeah, of course, Black Tide. They're really not much thrash, but they're a great band. But they are thrash metal. I saw that on their info. So that's the That's how you get into thrash metal. If of course, let's talk about. Well, let me show you. Of course, Slayer. Slayer was an American thrash band. They broken up recently. No metalhead could become a lead. Well, this band, Slayer. This band started off in '81. I forgot how many albums. Metallica, this one, and this shirt. And Slayer. Well, they're great. They're a great band. And of course, we got Pantera. Obviously, Cowboys from Hell is my favorite album, but I haven't finished listening to the album. And of course, we got Metallica. I already mentioned about Kill 'Em All, Ride of Lightning, and Master of Puppets are my favorite album. Let's see here. Five Finger Death Punch. I don't know what's my favorite album. Black Tie. I don't know what my favorite album is. Man, I can't figure out what my favorite album is. God. Like Bullet for My Valentine. I don't know. Of course, Anthrax. They're one of the big four thrash bands. Anthrax started off in '81 too. Like, yeah, '81 too. And of course, we got Megadeth. Not the biggest fan of Megadeth, but I already got their patch on my jacket. But at least they're great. At least they're great bands. And of course, we got another thrash band I forgot to mention. Lamb of God. Lamb of God is a groove metal band. They started off as a heavy metal band, but instead of putting heavy metal music, they started putting it as groove metal. The genres are groove metal, thrash, metalcore, and of course death metal. My favorite Lamb of God album is Scar Mantis, something like that. But it's a great album. I haven't finished listening to it. If you never listened to it, you definitely should. If you're like, oh my God, thrash, thank you for helping me get into thrash metal. You're welcome. So there's a lot of thrash bands out there. If you want to be thrash, then go check them out. Well, anyway, guys, thank you guys for so much watching. Heavy Metal Dracula here, and stay metal.